Let's now turn our attention to reactions trailing the accusation leveled against Nigeria by the Confederation of Sahel States over the violation of Burkina Faso's airspace after a Nigerian Air Force aircraft carrying 11 people was forced to land in the country on Monday. In a video message, Mali's Minister of Security read out a statement by the Confederation of Sahel States condemning the violation of its airspace and the sovereignty of its member states. The Confederation described the incident as an unfriendly act carried out in defiance of international law and aviation rules and threatened to place its air and anti-aircraft defenses on maximum alert with authorization to neutralize any violating aircraft, eliciting reactions. I'll take some posts next. This person wrote, "Emergency landing or not, detaining Nigerian military personnel is an unnecessary escalation. Issues like this are supposed to be resolved through swift military-to-military communication. West African countries must stop turning brothers into enemies. Today it's Nigeria, tomorrow it could be them. Diplomacy must lead, not ego." Another ex-user wrote, "We stand with our troops. Diplomatic channels must be respected, but unjust detentions aren't the way forward. Hoping for a swift, peaceful resolution and the safe return of our personnel." Now, Ayo, we know the Confederation of Sahel States is made up of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, which formally exited ECOWAS in January following military coups and suspensions from the bloc. The Confederation says the Nigerian aircraft had an in-flight emergency in Burkina Faso's airspace and had to land, but the Nigerian plane had no authorization to fly over their territory. Now, 11 Nigerians are reportedly held in Burkina Faso, yet no official comment has come from the Nigerian Air Force or the federal government as we speak. I don't know if you have seen any official statement,
yes,
because that's what my producer is saying at this moment. So what's the official statement?
Okay, so the official statement is signed by Air Commodore Ehimen Ejodame, who is the Director of Public Relations and Information. He had actually clarified what you already highlighted.
Yes.
So that was the official statement that they said they were on their ferry mission to Portugal yesterday, 8th of December. And following takeoff from Lagos, the crew observed the technical concern which necessitated a precautionary landing in Burkina Faso, which was the nearest airfield at the time. They also made it clear that this is in accordance with standard safety procedures and international aviation protocols. They also highlighted the fact that the NAV crew is safe and have received cordial treatment from the host communities. So, I mean, what we had said earlier on is that this is a statement, official statement from the Nigerian Air Force, and then there are stories around that they are being detained. According to this statement, they are not being detained. They've received cordial treatment, and it was based on an emergency landing. Some of us have been in situations where planes developed issues or passengers on the flight had issues for commercial flights. In this case, it's a military flight where you have to find the nearest strip to land. And this is what has happened. And I think for now, I'll stand with the official position of the Nigerian Air Force until proven otherwise. But this is what they have released this morning.
Okay, very well said, very well said. Well, now in Sokoto State, several reports indicate Nigerian security forces launched an operation around 9 a.m. in the Sabon Benin forest on Monday and successfully killed 7 terrorists. According to eyewitnesses, other terrorists escaped as troops moved to capture them. The troops worked in collaboration with farmers in Fadama Tara and local vigilantes on the successful mission. Well, in light of this, let's take a moment to highlight the Nigerian Air Force and their push in fighting back against terrorism. Dr. Abati was dancing behind the scenes, but we have to always find a way to, highlight the efforts of the military. I'm really excited about this incident that occurred in Sokoto State, which has been, a hotbed in recent time of, kidnappings and banditry. And it's good to see that, our Nigerian military are doing what they're doing. They're even working with farmers and vigilante groups to secure the territory. Dr. Abati, a quick word before I go to Anambra State.
Well, I mean, just to commend the Air Force, anytime they do well. Also the armed forces, generally, not just the Air Force. But I keep making the point that, they have a tough task.
Yes.
And they are overstretched. The Nigerian armed forces, they are overworked. Now, the president has directed that they should recruit more persons. And then also, there's also the directive that anybody that is due for retirement should not go on retirement, should just stay and, take on this task. But, we need more boots on the ground. We need more collaboration, interagency collaboration, which was why the new Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, was making that point about collaboration among the various agencies. And that's very important because, we can't be using soldiers to do police work most of the time. So the attempt to upgrade the security agencies is very important. So when they do well, we'll praise them, but we should also not overstretch them.
Yes.
We should also pay attention to their welfare.
Right.
100 billion naira has been recommended, approved by the National Economic Council. That 100 billion naira should be well managed. Correct. So that there will be motivation. Ayo calls it the mindset, so that the mindset, can be strong. Absolutely. For them to continue to serve. And training facilities and equipment should be made available. Yes. That is what is important.
Correct. And a quick comment in Burkina Faso, the story.
Okay, the situation in Burkina Faso, the press statement that Ayo read, that's exactly what the Nigerian government has said. It was just a safety procedure. They were on their way to Portugal. But at the same time, it's good to hear that the authorities in Burkina Faso, they've been host. Yes. They've been very nice to our men. The thing is, okay, the Alliance of Sahel States, they have exited ECOWAS in January, but you still have to continue to engage them.
Yes.
5 out of the members of ECOWAS have military rulers, but they are still within this space. And ECOWAS made some concessions about trade, about tariffs, but we hope that someday, it will be one happy community once again, as envisioned by the founding fathers of ECOWAS in 1975.
Well said, Dr. Abati, well said. Now to Anambra State, where residents of Isiokwe are on the edge after the wife of an Anglican pastor was killed on Sunday morning after gunmen attacked St. Andrew's Church and set the building on fire. An eyewitness said the gunmen appeared to have been targeting the pastor, Venerable Obese, who escaped. Well, here's a video of the aftermath.
Now, with this one, we have lost two vehicles now. And a machine, motorcycles. This is the pastor's house. I was burned down and raised to ashes. Jesus. This is the pastor's car. Burned down. Ukochuku's car. Burned to ashes and the building. It's quite unfortunate that at this time in our community, when we are trying to see that we gain back our community, things like this are happening. It's quite unfortunate.
Rufai, the police spokesman for Anambra State, Tochukwu Ikenga, confirmed the attack as well as the killing of the pastor's wife, adding that the police commissioner has condemned the attack and assured the families of the victims that the perpetrators will be tracked down and brought to justice. This is the police statements that we received, and this is the sort of statements that we see whenever such incidents occur. Rufai, my heart bleeds for this sort of stories that come out about these killings and burning down of churches.
So this also coupled with the killing in Lilu.
Yeah.
All right. The police will always say, we'll track down the perpetration and break them down. How many have we tracked down? How many have we brought to book? How many of those that have perpetrated these heinous acts against people have been brought to book? The kidnappers that kidnap people in Kwara, have we brought them to book? Those that release these people, have we brought them to book? So you see, that's the massive level of insecurity. And I keep repeating this. For those that have ears, let them hear. I am worried because increasingly in a state where it starts to look like the government does not have the autonomy of violence, a state must have the autonomy of violence more than any other actor. That's why you have all the paraphernalia of state. That's why you have heavy budgetary provisions for insecurity. That's why you have military officers that will also call for better funding that should be able to go out there and bring the perpetrators to book. But in Nigeria, we hear of complicity. We hear of people not doing their work. We hear of one too many times, people are getting away with murder. The question I'd like to ask them is, how many of these people that perpetrate crimes like this have ever been brought to book? What is the list like? What is the number? So as long as we have these gaps, then President Tinubu, see, the title of the commander-in-chief, uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. You were so bold to call Jonathan all sorts of names. And we supported you because we said that's the role of the opposition. But today, if we speak and call you names and say, do the needful, protect people, your people will be shouting, oh, you don't have the rights. They will write flowery English to be abusing us. But we supported you when you were calling Jonathan names. The sad part is people like them, Dr. Abati, that was on the receiving end. Dr. Abati, which name did you even call people that used to abuse Jonathan that time? Children of perdition, or what name did you call them? Because you were the one that was not abusing them then. But they called Jonathan names and we supported you, President Tinubu. Your supporters even went ahead, carried a coffin and wrote Jonathan on the coffin while President Jonathan's mother was still alive. But today, if we talk now, your people will be calling and say we talk too much. Oh. They will be calling at the back. Don't say, don't call for his resignation. Don't call for it. Do something about it. That's what we are saying. That's all we want. Right. Do something about this level of insecurity. And Dr. Abati, with due respect, I totally disagree with that talk. Insecurity has been there before President Tinubu come. He didn't know insecurity was in ground before he went to vie for presidency.
All right.
So, who is the president on ground? Is it me? Okay. Who is supposed to do the work? We should not be giving excuses like that for him.
All right.
He knew what he was going into before he went into it. As long as he's there, the day he leaves power, we will turn to the other person that is president and we ask him questions.
All right, fine.
If his President Tinubu is not president, do you think I will disturb him and be talking about security? It's because he's president. So we take everything.
All right, my heart goes out to the family of the pastor's wife and the pastor. We hope that, there will be some succor for that family, and we pray for her soul. May her soul rest in perfect peace. Now, I always say, it can be doom and gloom. It cannot be doom and gloom.
It cannot all the time.
Well, all right. We'll take our good news report.